is the number one thing that you must make sure that you do for your Goimagine shop. Hey friends, it's Randy here with We Crafty Creations, and in this video I just want to talk about one thing and one thing only, which is kind of hard for me because when I was thinking about this, I started going off onto different ideas and different tactics, and then I'm like, no, this is the one thing I want to talk about in this video, and I do think it is the most important thing that you can do for your Goimagine shop. Whether you just started a Goimagine shop or you've had one for a really long time, if you haven't done this, or if you haven't done this recently, make sure that you go and do this. And it's really, really simple. Make sure you stay to the end to hear the details of it. But it's basically go into goimagine.com, search for one of your items with words that you feel should pop up your item. First of all, make sure that your products show up hopefully on the first page for that. Keep in mind, if you have a really common item, that may not happen, but hopefully your items will show up, or at least one of your listings will show up on the first page. Then once you find that product and it's your product, then you're going to click on it and you're going to basically go through this as though you were a customer and pretend that you're a customer, pretend this isn't your item. It's kind of hard to do. Put yourself in that mindset of you are just somebody who is looking to buy some snowflake magnets. For whatever reason, this is something specifically that you are looking to buy. And you're just going to go through as a shopper, and first of all, you're looking at your shop and just making sure nothing looks weird, nothing looks off, there's nothing keeping you from wanting to buy this. One thing on mine that I'm looking at is that I did remember to put a photo in here with the size reference, so people know the size of it without having to look for the description. The description is, a bit farther down in the page, so some people don't look at that. From up here, they can hit add to cart without even seeing that description. All they're seeing is the title, and they're seeing the photos, so that's one way to make sure there's no confusion. And then you're pretending to be a shopper, so you're going to go all the way and hit add to cart and make sure that things work properly. You're going to go to checkout and you're going to go in there and you're going to fill in all of your information and, take it as far as you can before you actually hit the finalize button to make sure that there's no problem with your shipping. There's no issues that are going on in your shop that's going to cause an issue. I'm not going to type my address in here for y'all, but just do that and go all the way to as far as you can go on that and make sure that it works properly. And it's not just about making sure it works properly, it's also making sure that everything makes sense. So if you have a lot of variations to your items, it's making sure that those variations make sense. So if I pick something else that I have variations to, like fall leaf magnets, I believe I have variations here. Then people can choose the colors, making sure this makes sense, and asking yourself, will this make sense to the customer? If they want reds and browns and this is going to make sense to them. And, they can look through the pictures and hopefully get a feeling for what that might be. Based on, the different photos that are in here, like, here's one with a lot of brown and here's one with a lot of red. So hopefully they would understand that, but, it's making sure that you do your best to answer any questions. Something that I used to do, and I don't think I do it anymore, is there should be something in this, about this product, that says, feel free to ask questions. Contact me, you know what I mean? So that way, if there is questions, that they feel they can contact you. And also making sure that the how it's made section is filled out, because this can answer a lot of questions for people as well and make them feel more welcomed. And then the shop policies as well, so that way they know what happens if I get this and I don't like it, So it's just taking away all those questions and getting that buyer from clicking on your listing all the way to the end and finalizing the purchase. And a big part of that is, yes, making sure that your shipping is correct and making sure that there's nothing that's blocking a customer from making that purchase. So that is one thing that you should do. It's kind of like auditing your shop, but you need to do it from a buyer's perspective. Ask yourself, if I was a buyer and I was just literally looking for something like this, is this going to, make me feel comfortable and know what the sizes are of the items that I'm getting. If size is kind of an important factor. If it's jewelry, is it super clear? If it's sterling silver, or if it's silver plated or gold plated, or whatever that may be. Just as another random example, because I hate when people make videos and they only talk about their own products. So I try to give other examples. I'm not a jeweler, but I have a general idea. Same thing with, but the size is important too, like earrings. You're going to want to know how far that dangle earring is. Is that a 2-inch long, dangling down from your ear, or is it a 3-inch or whatever? Because some people are going to definitely care about those types of things. And size is important for a lot of things, obviously. Clothing, accessories, even one of those, what's it called, amaguri, crocheted animals, those cute little crocheted animals, things like that. People want to know the size. They want to know, are they getting their money's worth for, what they're seeing? And a big part of that is making sure that they're not going to get some tiny little thing that's 1 inch tall when they expected something that was, 6 inches. And it's kind of hard to tell. And sometimes one thing that can be really helpful too is to take a picture with the item in your hand to show the size. Show it next to a quarter. Either way, just make sure it's very clear to the buyer on what they're going to get and that there's no obstacles in their way from making the purchase. And, there's a lot of things that you can do to help answer their questions, and hopefully I've gone through a lot of those here for you, give you some ideas. So if you have time today or tomorrow, sometime soon, make sure you go and do this. And don't just do it with one of your products. It'd be a good idea to do it with a few different products if you have a lot of listings in Goimagine. I recommend doing it with at least a few if you can. And just, really try to look at it from the buyer's perspective. Another thing that you can do that's very similar is you can ask somebody else to do this for you. You can ask in the groups, the official Goimagine group, for example. You can say, hey, is there anybody out there who's willing to go into my shop and go, as far as you can until you get to the payment and make sure this works for you and doesn't give you any issues. I want somebody from another state to do it to make sure nothing, comes up or whatever, and give me feedback, that type of thing. And I'm willing to do that too. I'm going to go ahead and post in the Goimagine help group that I run and ask people if they would like me to do this for them. And I recommend that everybody just kind of buddy up and help each other out and make sure there's nothing that's stopping anyone from buying anything, because not only is that a huge bummer for you if there's something on your site that's stopping you from stopping your buyers from making the purchase, but it's also a huge bummer for Goimagine. If somebody has a bad experience and isn't able to complete their purchase for any reason, or just gets a bad vibe, then they may not come back to Goimagine right away. We want them to have good experiences so they keep coming back and helping the cause, and hopefully keep building up Goimagine basically. So hopefully this was helpful to everybody. Please make sure that you do this action, and do it any way that you feel comfortable with. Some people aren't really comfortable posting in the groups and asking for help. That's fine. You can ask a friend or a family member, or you can just do it yourself. And, nothing will hurt you as long as you don't complete an entire purchase and then, end up paying fees and things to have item shipped to yourself, which is technically against the rules, I'm sure. But don't complete the purchase. But other than that, this is a really great way to just test things out and see things from that other perspective. So thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions at all, make sure to put them in the comments there. If you found this helpful or interesting in any way, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on the way about Goimagine.